Bulavinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavengavengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, new tax information system launched. 2 students charged for involvement in sex video. And investigations begin of retailers.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spade.
In an effort to allow more efficiency, transparency and voluntary compliance with tax and customs laws, the Fiji Revenue and Customs Service today launched a new tax information system in Suva. Revenue and Customs Chief Executive Viswanath Das says this is one of the biggest IT projects which will look into electronic filing, electronic payments and self-assessment for businesses and taxpayers. Kelly Vadala reports.
Technology has been one of the strategic focus areas for the Revenue and Customs in terms of business into the future and a way to share information with stakeholders and customers.
With this new IT system, we are looking at developing taxpayer portals and all these things whereby all the information is upfront to the taxpayers to be able to voluntarily comply. And also self-assessment.
The information system is a 2-year project in partnership with a British company Invenia Business Solutions, which will be implemented by them soon.
Will provide FRCS with a technology platform. It's a tax platform in which you can administer, simplify and introduce tax simplification, tax administration transparency and also advanced capabilities.
This is a total capital of $48 million that will be going into this project.
Das also says the new system will help in the growth of the Fijian economy and allow people to access their services easily. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
2 students alleged to have been involved in a sexual assault case have been granted bail by the Nandi Magistrates Court. A sex video in relation to this went viral on social media last week. The duo were granted bail with a sum of $1,000 each with sureties and have been ordered not to leave the country. The first accused, a 17-year-old, has been charged with 1 count of abduction of a girl below the age of 18 years and 1 count of defilement between the age of 13 and 18 years. The second accused, also a 17-year-old, has been charged with 1 count of trafficking of obscene publication. The case will be recalled on the 10th of January next year. Meanwhile, a video was uploaded on Facebook in which the accused and the victim are seen involved in a sexual activity. The victim's father had lodged an official complaint following this at the Namaka police station. There are revelations that several retail outlets were engaged in unethical practices in the lead-up to Diwali. Around 80% of staff from the Fijian Competition and Consumer Commission was deployed to conduct Diwali surveillance, and the findings are shocking. Rachel Nath with this exclusive story.
An investigation has begun to find retailers that cheated customers during Diwali sales.
Close to Diwali, overnight prices of certain Diwali specific items have increased up to 200%. Lights that used to be sold for 60 something dollars went up to $200.
The Commission says these retailers will be taken to task with a heavy penalty.
Now we will undertake an investigation into pricing practices, we will undertake an investigation into the quality of goods that were being sold. We've noted down, narrowed down a few traders, and moving forward there will be an investigation.
This has disappointed many Fijians who raised their concerns about pricing during the Diwali season.
It was really high. Like customers, they would like the prices to go down because it's kind of hard for some people. Like every year, the prices go higher and higher. So people want more fireworks, right? So like they should, the prices should be lower.
When Diwali comes, businesses put the prices up, especially closer to the day of Diwali, which is not right because these businesses claim they are on sale.
Retailers and other traders found guilty will have to pay a fine of $50,000. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
More than $16 million was given out in dividend payments to the three shareholders of Fiji Ports Corporation Limited today. Over $6 million was given to the government and the Fiji National Provident Fund, while over $3 million went to Atkins Spence. Ana Ravulo reports.
The FPCL dividend payout for 2016 is a 217% increase compared to just over $5 million in 2015. While receiving a dividend payout of more than $6 million on behalf of the government, Attorney General Aya Said Kayum said the profit happened primarily due to the input of Atkins Spence, which is a world-renowned port operator in Sri Lanka and other countries.
The fact that the Fijian government took a decision to divest some of its shares in not just Fiji Ports Corporation Limited, but other state-owned enterprises. The reason why we've done that is to bring in strategic partners to be able to very quickly enhance our productivity and also to be able to position Fiji internationally.
Meanwhile, 214 employees of FPCL and its subsidiaries Fiji Ships and Heavy Industries also received a bonus of $256,000.
The bonus payout is based on the assessment of KPIs that are in line with the robust PMS framework.
The Fiji Ports 2016 dividend payout has been recorded the highest since 2012. Ana Ravulo, FBC News.
The members of the Bar Women's Forum have been given the task to design gifts for the delegates of COP23 that will be held in Bonn, Germany next month. Forum President Dr. Maria Doughton says they were asked to send designs of their products that will identify Fiji following the launch of their shopping bags earlier this year. Dr. Doughton says the bags and folders that will be given to delegates at COP23 are made of our mats and tapa.
A tremendous accomplishment, I would say. It is something that is very privileged of us because of all the women's club probably or manufacturers, they have chosen us to do it. So it is something we are very proud of.
Still to come, teachers arrested for DUI a concern. And students on rape charges bailed to sit exam. Stay with us.
Moala rarada ranavika o tikongona taunu singatoka ando talisaka na wakaronga ng Bula FM number 2 na sere.
Ya dora subuni kurna bili. Ibora ni batu kara hambara binaranga. Do talitakina na waronga ng Bula FM number 2 na sere. Bula.
Bula FM number 2 na sere.
The number of teachers arrested for drunk driving is a growing concern for the police force. Police Commissioner Brigadier General Sitiveni Gilio says they're making arrests on a daily basis. Felipe Naikaso has more.
It's the opposite of what a teacher should be doing and something that's not expected of them.
Teachers, people that we rely on to help us in teaching our younger ones and teaching others on road safety and proper road usage. But these are the people that we are arresting.
The concern is that these drivers pose a great threat to pedestrians.
It is very disappointing. Like I said, these are the people we rely on to help us advocate and get our roads safer. Teachers, there's a good number of teachers that we've taken off the roads that are involved with this. What are they telling our young ones?
Despite the Fiji police force beefing up on operations on our road, drivers are still testing the boundaries, driving under the influence.
Teachers should set an example, you know. Those are the civil servants that we look up to.
We know what is good and what is wrong, but they should be, don't do that.
They should be setting some good example, and that is not expected for them to do.
The Fiji police force states that they will continue to clamp down on these drivers. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
3 students facing rape charges have been released on bail by the Suva High Court to sit for their Year 13 examination from tomorrow. It's alleged the 3 raped a 12-year-old student in the same school in Nausori in September this year. They will sit their Year 13 examination at a centre in Nasinu and not in their school, as the victim attends the same school. They have been released on $1,000 bail each with sureties. The matter has been adjourned to November 10th. The Fiji Bus Operators Association is working on its submission to be presented next week to the steering committee headed by the Fiji Competition and Consumer Commission. President Richard Lal says they have a formula in place on how bus fares are currently worked out and are interested in seeing what the research by other stakeholders will reveal. The last review of bus fares was done in 2011, and this was in response to rising oil prices, which led to increased bus fares.
We need to prove what the data says. Once the data is available, we have a cost model, index model formula that's being used.
11 contestants from across the country will vie for the title of Miss Fiji this weekend. Some have said the idea of competing in such a competition is something they hadn't thought of before. Savaira Tambua tells us more.
Some contestants have said that becoming competitors at this level one day was unexpected, not in their dreams. This was highlighted by a few who worked hard in the past 2 months to compete with others vying for the Miss Fiji crown. But being part of the celebration is a great privilege for them.
Nothing is impossible. If you have the will and your heart, you will try to work hard and sacrifice more. You will get there.
I feel really privileged that I'm able to be here right at this moment. And as to how I feel about my supporters, well, I'm looking forward to representing them as well.
Events coordinator Hridesh Lal says other activities are also organized as part of the week-long celebration underway at Albert Park and the museum compound in Suva.
We have also ordered some flavors such as volleyball, which was on last Saturday, and we have cricket game that is going on now. Also Battle of the Bands, which happened on Saturday, it continues again today and tomorrow. And we have a riot contractors there.
11 queens from different municipalities around the country are part of the organized events planned before they compete in the pageant this Saturday. In December, whoever is crowned as Miss Fiji this Saturday will be a contestant in the Miss Pacific Island, competing officially, being launched in Nandi tonight. 10 contestants have registered for the Miss Pacific Islands event. Savaira Tambua, FBC News.
More than 800 residents of Taveuni today received their micro-small business grant with the disbursement carried out in Wairiki. 807 Fijians across a range of small businesses joined more than 14,000 micro-entrepreneurs, with government investing a total of $12.7 million in MSBG distribution so far. Today's handout was by Minister for Trade and Industry Fayaz Koya, kickstarts the North allocation for the 2016-2017 grants, which include disbursements in Savosavu, Lambasa, Senganga and Nambawalu later this week.
My business was operating very well, and before receiving this help, it will grow more. And we will help more increase in my business that I have been doing so far.
Ahead in sports with Jamie, 6 football players suspended, but up next is Rachel with business.
Thank you, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight. BSP continues to show commitment to HR Institute. And in growing Fiji, Lakemba residents to benefit from new road. Stay with us.
Ahead in sports with Jamie, young netters get contract offers, but up next is Rachel with the latest in business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight. Increase in RB Patel dividend payout. And in growing Fiji, farmers discuss the future. Stay with us. Welcome back. Leading business tonight, BSP will continue its 3-year commitment to support the Fijian Human Resource Institute. The bank today announced a sponsorship of $40,000 to this year's annual convention. The sponsorship has been placed on human capital and the impact it will have on driving our economy forward.
Our sponsorship also reflects the changing view that workers are not workers, just workers, but are important human capital that form an integral part of businesses and organizations.
And we now join Rocco from HFC Bank with the latest from the stock markets.
Vinakam, let's look at the South Pacific Stock Exchange market wrap from last week.
A total of 5 securities were traded with 25,665 shares exchanging hands. The accumulating value of the transaction was $79,677. The 5 securities were Amalgamated Telecom Holdings, Paradise Beverages, Vision Investments, Fijian Holdings and BSP Convertible Notes Limited. In terms of share price movement, there were no losses. However, there were 2 price gains. ATH saw an increase of 5 cents to conclude at their all-time high share price of $1.85. Vision Investment shares increased 8 cents to conclude at a new maximum share price of $2.60. Consequent to the positive share price increases witnessed in ATH and Vision Investment Limited shares, the overall market value rose 1.74% or $29 million and ended the week at a new all-time high value of $1.72 billion. And that was the action on the South Pacific Stock Exchange last week. Vinaka.
Thanks, Rocco. Looking at today's exchange rates and foreign currencies in the Fijian dollar. The Fijian dollar weakened against the Chinese yuan and the American dollar to close at 3.16 and 47 cents respectively, while it strengthened against the Australian and New Zealand dollars to close at 60 cents and 68 cents, and it was down against the PNG kina to close at 134. As for the commodities market, a mixed day as we start the week with oil prices closing at $52.18 a barrel. Gold was down to close at $1,278 per ounce and silver closed at $17.2 an ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, close to 2,000 people on Lakamba Island will benefit from the recently constructed road. Fiji Roads Authority Program Manager Capital Works Delivery Johari Abdullah says the main circular road links 8 villages on the island. Abdullah says the work included shaping and trimming of existing subgrade cross-culvert installation, construction of headwells, removal and construction of new bridge decks, and drainage and seawall construction. Meanwhile, works on Coral Island is expected to be completed by December. And that was business this evening. Now to the latest in sports. Here's Jamie.
Naka, Rachel, and good evening in sports tonight. Ranrandra on McKee's radar. And stage set for World Cadet Championship. This and more coming up.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकु रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ. मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1. इट्स सो हॉट.
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे. मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट.
हाय, मैं संध्या नारियल रेकी से. मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं. मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट. आई लव मिर्ची एफएम.
हमें स्पिन तो हुआ कि मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे.
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट.
Fiji Airways Flying Fijians coach John McKee has raised his concerns over certain players who haven't yet decided if they'll be available for the national team. While McKee is in talks with former rugby league star Semi Ranrandra, he's been left disappointed with Alibert Tiraka and his club. Vasil Prasad with the details.
What's he going to do in the future? So you know, we'll keep an eye on that. What his future prospects are, whether he stays in union or not, and certainly I'll keep communicating him as I do with a lot of players.
While Ranrandra remains in the mix, McKee has raised his concern considering Alfred Iraka's decision. The national team coach had been meeting the Clermont winger, who now is set to feature for France.
I've visited him at Clermont on a number of occasions, and it's only on this visit that it was actually the ASM club told me that there was certainly talk that the French setup were chasing him.
McKee says it's not only France but many other countries who have included Fijian players. Some have been earning a name of themselves while others have been forgotten.
I think it'll settle down a bit, because I think after 5 years, if a player has lived in another country, after 5 years I think they show a good commitment to that country.
It's time to wait and see whether Raka joins Virimi Vakatawa and Noah Naikatadi in the French national team, or the France Rugby Union sticks to its words of not selecting non-French players under its new rules. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Discipline is an area the Fiji Airways Ndrua still needs to improve on before they face the Sydney Rays in the National Rugby Championship this Saturday. Vashnil Prasad reports that despite an impressive performance in the first season, the Ndrua continues to top the list in the most number of penalties conceded. 6 players have been suspended by the Fiji Football Association after the Court Centre District Championship earlier this month. The players who are yet to be named by Fiji FA all failed the drug tests at the tournament. As Rohit Deo reports, they could face a suspension of up to 2 years.
Players who don't comply with the anti-doping policy will be severely dealt with by the Fiji Football Association.
To suspend 1 from the Super Premier and 5 from the senior. And the seniors is only confined to 1 or 2, 3 districts, so we know where the problem is.
90 players were tested during the 5-day tournament. Players have been warned to take this seriously, as this can tarnish their football career.
But these players will have no second chance. They'll appear before the BOC on the 18th of November when we have a meeting in Suva. They'll have to come out and explain why it happened and what they want to do in future.
Meanwhile, the national football side will play Kyrgyzstan in Malaysia on the 10th of this month.
The step is really high for us, but we will do our best. These 2 games, these 2 pre-games are really important for us to prepare Estonia, because I believe in my boys.
The national side will then host Estonia on the 19th of November at Suva's ANZ Stadium. Rohit Dev, FBC Sports.
Members of the Fiji Pacific table tennis team wrapped up preparations for the International Table Tennis World Cadet Challenge that starts tomorrow at the Vodafone Arena in Suva. The 9 players will represent Fiji and the Pacific at the free entry week-long event, which is expected to see intense competition from young players from all over the globe. Meli Tawanga reports.
With just few more hours until the much-awaited tournament starts, our players have been reminded about the big task that lies ahead.
For Fiji and the Pacific team, a smaller player from us, and just I would like to my team do for the best and try play very good. This is very good for in future for Fiji.
Meanwhile, the Duncan sisters are excited to team up for the first time in an international tournament.
Train like every day, and like looking at the players, how good they are, realizing that no, Fiji is not really that good, but we have to keep on trying our best.
Yes, I'm excited because people will see me and my sister playing together, helping each other to go through this competition.
Younger sister Philomena knows what it's like to be up against top overseas competitors. She represented Fiji in the Oceania Table Tennis Championship earlier this year.
My other mates very training hard because they know how hard it will be challenging those players from other countries because they are very strong.
The Cadet Championship will feature the best under 15 players from around the world. Meli Tawanga, FBC Sports.
That's it from Sports. Angie joins you later on with weather. And in the world of the weird and wonderful, a Waikato teenager aims to open an elephant sanctuary. That's coming up.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo sekolah untuk tali taka na Radio Fiji 1 kena Domoy Viti.
Kaya ko sila tali, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu tali taki yang gitu kena sebalik pun nagudurong. Varorong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.
The new Mate 10 and Mate 10 Pro phones use AI and a dedicated chip to take better photos and translate text. We take a look at the new features. And it's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. It's Monday and such a rainy day to start off with. Well, it looks like we will have to grab the rain gear again. Looking at the west, it was mostly cloudy with showers indicated for tonight. Eastwards from Pekhaba to Suva, a rainy day throughout with a bit of afternoon sunshine. There will be more overnight showers. And up north, a bit of rain made conditions duller. It mostly stayed overcast. At sea, east to southeast winds 15 to 20 knots with moderate to rough seas. And for the tides, high tide tonight will be at 9:29 with low tide at 3:50. See the beauty of sunrise at 5:31. For tomorrow, the steady rain which started on Diwali will continue into tomorrow as well. However, it will be dry in the daytime before they arrive again in the afternoon. Tomorrow's temps, Nandi will be the hottest with highs of 32 degrees. And looking further on to Wednesday, we're looking at more downpour. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. On Fiji and Pulse today, we asked, should supermarkets be penalised with heavy fines for cheating customers?
Yes, from my opinion, I think they should be penalised because they've been using customers' money.
They should be taken to task to the government. They should see those like it's small corruption.
I think penalty should increase for those.
I think what they are doing is wrong, and yeah, they should be penalized because nowadays times are hard. Every cent counts, so why not increase it?
Recapping the main stories, new tax information system launched. 2 students charged for involvement in sex video and investigations begins of retailers. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question, the results from last week, we had asked, do you think fireworks are too expensive this year? 87% said yes. This week we are asking, should sex education be made compulsory from primary school level? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day. The shot was taken by Kini Saratimbao while travelling along the King's Highway from Rakiraki town to Suva. A reflection of the moon on the water, absolutely beautiful. We'd like to encourage all our viewers to send in more pictures of our beautiful Fiji, whether it's our tropical flowers, stunning waterfalls, maybe a visiting cruise ship, or even your favorite pet. Just send them through to email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo tikola ndo tali taka na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Yang kuya zo sila tali, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu tali tagi yang gitu Venezuela, nagundurong varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.